Tonight on CTV3 News, tensions over the future of Belize's tax administration spills into the streets as BTSD employees across the country walk off the job. They call on government to pause parliamentary approval of the Revenue Authority bill. BTL pulls the plug on its proposed acquisition of SpeedNet Communications Limited. The company informs PUC that it will no longer move forward with the transaction. Orange Walk Technical High School student remains without an interpreter. And we take you to St. Peter's Anglican School, where its administration receives a much-needed donation. These are some of the stories we have for you tonight in our newscast for Wednesday, August 26, 2026.
Money travels fast, so make sure you check it before you spend it. Here are 4 easy ways to know your money is real. Look, feel, tilt, and check. Look closely at your note by holding it to the light to see the watermark and the note value. Notice how the see-through image completes itself perfectly. Feel for authenticity. Run your fingers over the raised portrait and the bars on the edges. 1 bar for the $2 and up to 6 bars for the $100. Tilt the note to see the hidden value appear. Look for the moving images on the security thread and holographic shimmer on higher denominations. Check closely. Use UV light or a magnifying glass to find hidden images and microtext. Remember, handling counterfeit money is illegal. If you spot a fake, report it to the police immediately. Look, feel, tilt, and check. Know your money. Check it before you spend it. A message from the Central Bank of Belize.
When I come here with me and my family, I get quality service. I have no problem with the doctors nor the nurses. It has a lot of impact on the families because they can also use the service just like me. People younger than me have to pay $2 while I get my medication free.
So that's the great thing about NHI, that you can, access the service based on your ability to pay or not. All right. So that's the game changer of NHI, is that a consultation is $2. And I think if you don't have the $2, we would never deny the service. Built into that is children under 5 years old or above 60 years old, or pregnant women. They have been suspended from the $2, what we call co-pay. So for them it's totally free.
I am glad because before I would have to pay out of pocket. Now, well, because I'm senior citizen, I can get most of them for free.
I think NHI is for everybody. Once you have a social security card, you should register for NHI.
On 1st August 1838, our African ancestors were legally emancipated from slavery, marking the beginning of a new chapter in the pursuit of dignity, justice, and opportunity. We honor their resilience, celebrate their enduring legacy, and reflect on the sacrifices that helped shape our nation. 5 years ago, the government of Belize formally recognized Emancipation Day as a deeply rooted part of our national journey and identity. That struggle, resistance, and triumph are fundamental parts of our road to independence, and that this present moment in 2026 is intertwined with our many challenges and opportunities as a nation and people. Advancing our education upliftment project and healthy school meals agenda, building more affordable homes for those most in need, and expanding our national health insurance program to ensure better health care for all. Physical freedom must be backed by economic empowerment. On behalf of the government of Belize, I have appointed the Belize Pro Tem Reparations Committee, marking Belize's active involvement in the call for reparatory justice. As the CARICOM Reparations Manifesto states, the goal is to achieve material, social, cultural, and financial justice for sustainable development. Through this initiative, Belize will have a voice in the CARICOM Reparations Commission as it works to define and implement a 10-point action plan aimed at securing redress for the centuries of oppression endured by African and indigenous peoples and their descendants. Today, on Emancipation Day, let us remember that we stand on the shoulders of men and women who were held in chains, but whose spirits were never bound.
In Belize, the Public Utilities Commission works every day amid the rhythm of economic activities to ensure homes, businesses, and communities have access to necessary utility services. Through regulations, the Public Utilities Commission powers progress, connect communities, encourage new ideas and bold innovation, manage consumer rights, guide change, and serves in the best interests of national development for a future that benefits us all. Every decision is informed by evidence and guided by regulations and the law. So if and when changes arise in any of Belize's utility sectors, including situations that may affect competition, regulations and laws allow the PUC to carefully assess those changes, ensuring consumers are treated fairly while maintaining a sustainable utility sector. The Public Utilities Commission, guided by the law, informed by evidence, working to ensure fair and sustainable utility services for Belize.
The first week we had it at Henry. Now this second week we're having it here at Georgetown Technical High School. Basically what we're doing is that we're trying to get youths involved in agriculture, especially because that is very important. We need it for food security, we need them to be sustainable. So we target them at a young age so that they can be able to incorporate whatever activity they're learning in their daily life, especially during the summer days, right? Regular summer camps would entail them probably to have some fun games outdoors and different other activities, but in terms of agriculture, we get them involved in different activities. For example, the whole week it's broken down in different activities. We had on Monday, we had horticulture, meaning that they had the opportunity to sow a seed, to do transplanting in a cover structure. On Tuesday, we taught them about livestock concept when it comes to New World screwworm, different livestock related activities. Wednesday, beekeeping. Thursday, we focus on agro-processing, getting preparations when it comes to hands-on practice with healthy breakfast, healthy meals. And then on Friday, we wrap up with aquaculture.
I just wanted to see the different topics we were going to learn about to try to learn something. We were learning about beekeeping, and I learned a lot that in one bee box they can be up to 80,000 bees. I've been having a lot of fun.
They are always excited. I mean, every day they come, you see a lot of sense of happiness and humor within them that they want to come to the agriculture summer program.
I'm very impressed with the amount of participants because we try to limit to 50. I believe today we have almost 70. And so we're going to serious encouragement for young people. Because when I assume the responsibility as Minister of Agriculture, I recognize that young people don't want to do agriculture anymore. They want to be in tourism or academics or something of that regard. For as a nation, agriculture is the backbone of any economy. So as the minister responsible, I want to do everything possible to encourage young people to go into farming.
Good evening with your news also simulcast on Fiesta FM 106.7. I am Joanna Rodriguez. Tensions over the future of Belize's tax administration spilled into the streets today as Belize Tax Service Department BTSD employees from offices across the country, including Corozal, walked off the job, calling on the government to pause parliamentary approval of the Revenue Authority bill until their concerns are fully addressed. The proposed legislation provides the legal framework for establishing the Semi-Autonomous Revenue Authority, SARA, which the government has targeted for implementation by October 2026. The bill cleared another major hurdle in Parliament last Friday when it passed its second reading in the House of Representatives. It will now proceed to the Senate for consideration. As to the nationwide staff action, it drew strong support from Public Service Union PSU President Dean Flowers, who commended BTSD employees for speaking out about what they see as an uncertain future under the proposed changes.
That the officers countrywide decided that they wanted to send a message, a clear message to the management that has abandoned them, to the management that has kept them in the dark, to the management that seems to care less about the anxiety that they have been feeling for. I never read the bill, but for those who might have read that bill and said, yeah, all I have to say, man, shame on you, because they're not the staff that get affected, that the whole country, brother, that the whole country, they put at risk, that the finances of this country, they put at risk, that more of the Mira and Marine scandal than they create with this bill, no oversight, backs out the contractor general, backs out the auditor general, the accountant general, leave the auditor general in there, but we already know that office is deficient. So if they want to protect the people money, they may create one clause that says this body must lay on the table by the 31st of March each year an audited financial report by a certified independent auditor, while retaining the rights of the auditor general to come behind, years behind, as we know that office do for this type of thing. But you can't just take almost $1 billion and put it.
And still,
there's a total of 236 employees. I was reviewing some minutes this morning from the very first meeting that we had back in July, and it suggests that 153 employees will have to interview. It means that 83 employees will be handpicked, I guess, by the appointed CEO, because it doesn't appear that every single employee will have to interview. And I know that the bill also does not provide for the CEO or the chief officers to be interviewed. And so I think that is something that also needs addressing, that there must be an open and transparent interview process for the chief executive officer. There must be an open and transparent interview process for chief executive officers, so that we do not create what the bill attempts to create, which is an organization that can easily be hijacked by a minister who is answerable to no one, a CEO who is not even answerable to the advisory board, because that's what they do. They provide advice that nobody have to take, and he or she answer solely to the
Flowers questioned how elected officials could support legislation that, in his view, significantly reduces oversight over public spending. He argued that the bill would give one political figure broad control over decisions involving the use of public funds, the procurement of goods and services, and the awarding of government contracts.
I never read the bill, but for those who might have read that bill and said, yeah, all I have to say, man, shame on you, because they're not the staff they get affected, that the whole country, brother, that the whole country, they put at risk, that the finances of this country, they put at risk, that more of the Mira and Marine scandal than they create with this bill. No oversight, backs out the contractor general, backs out the auditor general, the accountant general. Leave the auditor general in there, but we already know that office is deficient. So if they may want to protect the people money, they may create one clause that says this body must lay on the table by the 31st of March each year an audited financial report by a certified independent auditor, while retaining the rights of the auditor general to come years behind, as we know that office do for this type of thing. But you can't just take almost $1 billion and put it.
The union further claimed that the submission prepared by staff in July was never presented to the Finance and Economic Development Committee when they considered the bill on August 12th. Flowers is now urging members of the public to examine the bill themselves and oppose it. He also confirmed that he intends to engage social partner senators and encourage them to vote against the legislation if it reaches the Senate, and if it does, further action could be taken.
Greater action.
There's potential for greater action. There will be greater action, but we have to be strategic. Today we wanted to send a message, and today we wanted to ascertain in which offices we're strong and in which offices we have to work, in which districts we have to work. But we have a strategic approach, and we will disrupt services not only in this office, but in other critical office in the week to come. We will be strategically asking support for this office in other critical ministries and departments, because you touch one, you touch all. And I think the Belizean people and the public officers and the membership is starting to understand that today, the BTSD, yesterday, that my company's registry is ahead, because I tell you, some serious department will be disrupted, and that includes some of the departments that deliver justice. Well, they have to come to the table, and we have to address the deficiencies.
Minister of Finance, BTSD.
Yeah, they have to come to the table, and they have to rectify the deficiencies in that bill, including the accountability in that bill. The accountability section is a concern for every single Belizean, not only for this union and for these officers. So I'm calling on the Belizean people, read the bill, and I'm calling on the media, take some time to go through the bill, break down the bill, and explain to the people why the bill is bad for them and bad.
With the October 2026 implementation target drawing closer, the dispute places renewed attention on how the proposed authority will affect current BTSD employees, their job security, and the future structure of revenue collection in Belize. Belize Telemedia Limited BTL has pulled the plug on its proposed acquisition of SpeedNet Communications Limited formally informing the Public Utilities Commission (PUC) that it will no longer move forward with the transaction. The telecommunications company communicated its decision in a letter dated August 24th and signed by Chief Financial Officer Ian Cleverly. BTL told the regulator that, following a change in circumstances, it has decided not to pursue the acquisition and has withdrawn the submissions previously made to the PUC. With the proposed deal no longer under consideration, BTL said the Commission does not need to continue its review of the submissions. The PUC no longer needs to consider those submissions because the proposed acquisition of SpeedNet Communications is no longer being contemplated, the company stated in its letter. BTL had initially submitted its proposal to the PUC in a letter dated February 10, 2026, launching a regulatory process surrounding the proposed takeover of SpeedNet. At the time, BTL said the acquisition was being pursued in good faith and was intended to bring broader benefits to Belize's telecommunications industry. The company pointed to potential efficiencies, increased investment and innovation, as well as improved services and greater value for consumers. However, those plans have now been abandoned. Unfortunately, BTL will no longer pursue the proposed acquisition as a result of change in circumstances, the company said, without providing further details on what led to the decision. The withdrawal brings an end for now to BTL's proposed expansion through the acquisition of SpeedNet, a development that had attracted regulatory attention because of its potential implications for Belize's telecommunications market. BTL also expressed appreciation to the PUC for its involvement throughout the process, thanking the Commission for its engagement, consideration, and cooperation, as well as the time and resources invested in reviewing the proposed transaction. The company's decision leaves the future of SpeedNet and any potential changes in Belize's telecommunications landscape open to further developments as BTL steps back from a deal it had been pursuing for more than 6 months. The high cost of electricity was a major focus of the United Democratic Party's press conference today, as concerns continue to grow among Belizeans over rising utility bills. The issue comes just one day after Belize Electricity Limited (BEL) and the Ministry of Public Utilities held their own press conference to explain what is contributing to the higher bills and outline measures being taken to provide relief to consumers. During the press conference, opposition leader Tracy Panton said Belizeans deserve greater clarity on the situation, particularly as electricity is a basic necessity for households across the country. Panton argued that families should be able to afford essential services such as electricity without having to choose between paying their bills and meeting other basic needs.
The Belizean people deserve answers about why electricity costs continue to rise, while major loans, acquisitions, and energy projects have not produced meaningful relief. Belizeans are already paying an additional 3.37 cents per kilowatt hour when the further 1.5 cents cost of power adjustment took effect in August of this year. Meanwhile, households nationwide reported, as I said before, bills doubling and tripling from one billing cycle to the next. Let us be clear. The 1.5 cents adjustment by itself does not explain every reported bill that moved from $88 a month to $276 a month. This is precisely why the United Democratic Party joins every Belizean in calling for an urgent independent review of the affected accounts, the meter readings, the billing periods, the rate classifications, and the methodology being used to calculate these rates. The electricity crisis does not stop at the household meter. Higher electricity costs are cost of living multiplier. For households, higher bills mean, and we all experience this, less money for food, less money for rent, less money for school expenses, less money for medication and medical care, less money for transportation. Low-income families, pensioners, and persons with disabilities are hit first, and they're hit the hardest.
The UDP's comments come amid widespread complaints from consumers who say their electricity bills have increased significantly, placing additional pressure on household finances. BEL has attributed the higher costs to several factors, including rising temperatures, overconsumption, and even the new smart meters, which have outlined previous errors in billings. The family of a special needs student who began high school at Orange Walk Technical High School this week says she remains without an interpreter, despite the critical role one would play in helping her understand lessons and keep up with her schoolwork. The issue was first highlighted by the students' parents, who are calling on the Ministry of Education to provide the necessary support so their daughter can fully participate in her education. Her former principal at St. Peter's Anglican School, Osmeyer Henry, is also expressing serious concern over the situation. Henry says the student needs an interpreter and that failing to provide one is a disservice to her, while also pointing to what he described as a serious shortage of trained interpreters in Belize.
And I am glad that the parents that she had were very supportive of her. And I see the importance, and they do see the importance, because as a parent, I would like my child to get the same treatment, the same education, the same as anybody in this world. So indeed, having an interpreter is of utmost importance, is something that it's a tool. It's just like being sick. If you are sick, you cannot perform. And with her, that's a tool that she needs. And I would appeal the community, our country Belize, our leaders, our ministries, to be more open that our community is ever changing. The children that we are having at our schools now are coming with more needs. So we have a lot of need of the schools for an interpreter for our deaf-mute students, as well as they have a lot of students who need paraprofessionals, because there are a large number of students more coming to our school with autism. So indeed, if there is anybody out there in the community that you know that you can assist one of our past students, or can assist us here at St. Peter's Anglican School, because we are in need of more interpreters, as well as we are in need of more. We don't have no paraprofessional. Our teachers work with our students. So if there are paraprofessionals, I'm appealing out there, the community, let us start training these people, because it's a need. It's not a want, it's a need for survival. And I believe in equality and equity, and our past student does deserve the same treatment and same education as any other student in our country.
I know that sometimes,
Henry says every student has the right to learn and receive the support needed to access education. He is appealing to the Ministry of Education, as well as anyone else who can assist, to help ensure an interpreter is provided as soon as possible. He says the delay could also have a negative impact on the student's motivation as she begins this new chapter of her education.
As I mentioned, frustration. After frustration, they give up. They feel that they are not welcomed, and that's one of the most important things. They must be welcomed. They must feel loved. They need to be engaged. They need to be included. And the minute our students don't feel that, they automatically start shutting down. And eventually it leads to what we all know it's expected from them, because there is no support. So it's an internal battle that they go through. Unfortunately, it's something emotional, it's something social, all aspects that we look at these children go through and we do not see. We think that they are normal, they are okay, but internally they are fighting it, they are crying for this assistance. And eventually, miss, if there is no assistance, she will eventually shut down, she will give up because of frustration, and it will be very difficult to get her back on board. And I feel the parents, because we do have other parents at our school and we work as best as possible. I'm glad so far that the ministry and the SPED unit has gifted us and granted an interpreters that we need at St. Peter's. We still need more, but if there is anybody again, let's make Leilani feel included, feel important, and accepted as who she is, like any other student here in Belize.
While the pertinent authorities work to rectify this matter, there have been suggestions on social media that digital tools could be used to assist the student in the classroom. While Henry acknowledged that technology could provide some support, he believes a physical interpreter remains the best option.
It's feasible, but I personally believe that if it's a one-on-one, a person physically being there for them, the response is immediate. The interaction is there, the responses are immediate. As if we are going to have an AI, she will be typing and waiting for a response while the teacher is still teaching. So she will be left behind at some point in the lesson. So having an interpreter physical there for her, I believe that will be the best thing for her.
The family has confirmed the student remains without an interpreter up to news time. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Education has advertised vacancies for interpreters. The situation, however, also highlights a broader challenge facing Belize's education system: the limited number of trained interpreters available to support students with special education needs. Henry says St. Peter's Anglican School is also facing a shortage of interpreters as it prepares for the upcoming school year, underscoring the need for more trained personnel to meet the needs of students across the country. Coming up next, what caused Belize to be plunged into darkness last night, and will it occur once more? We'll tell you. Stay tuned.
In Belize, the Public Utilities Commission works every day amid the rhythm of economic activities to ensure homes, businesses, and communities have access to necessary utility services. Through regulations, the Public Utilities Commission powers progress, connect communities, encourage new ideas and bold innovation, manage consumer rights, guide change, and serves in the best interests of national development for a future that benefits us all. Every decision is informed by evidence and guided by regulations and the law. So if and when changes arise in any of Belize's utility sectors, including situations that may affect competition, regulations and laws allow the PUC to carefully assess those changes, ensuring consumers are treated fairly while maintaining a sustainable utility sector. The Public Utilities Commission, guided by the law, informed by evidence, working to ensure fair and sustainable utility services for Belize.
when I come here with me and my family, I get quality service. I have no problem with the doctors nor the nurses. It has a lot of impact on the families because they can also use the service just like me. People younger than me have to pay $2 while I get my medication free.
So that's the great thing about NHI, that you can, access the service based on your ability to pay or not. All right. So that's the game changer of NHI, is that a consultation is $2, and I think if you don't have the $2, we would never deny the service. Built into that is children under 5 years old or above 60 years old, or pregnant women. They have been suspended from the $2, what we call co-pay. So for them it's totally free.
I am glad because before I would have to pay out of pocket. Now, well, because I'm senior citizen, I can get most of them for free.
I think NHI is for everybody. Once you have a social security card, you should register for NHI.
Every day, the demand on your business get higher. More productivity, better equipment, and reliable support to keep up with a fast-moving world. At Cellular World Business Solutions, we're ready to help you boost performance across every operation. Don't let outdated technology hold you back. With our certified and supported solutions, your business stays ahead. We supply office equipment, printers, inks, and toners, software licenses, IT system assembly as your Dell Platinum and Cisco partner, appliances, and custom orders tailored to your needs. From startups to large enterprises and renowned institutions, we serve every corner of the country because no industry can afford to fall behind on technology. Let's take your business to the next level. Contact us today at 610-2494. Cellular World Business Solutions, your reliable partner in business success.
Belize was plunged into darkness Tuesday night as a nationwide power outage disrupted electricity service across the country, with some communities remaining without power considerably longer than others. The widespread blackout began at approximately 7:28 p.m. after Belize Electricity Limited (BEL) experienced an unexpected collapse of its power system. According to BEL, the disruption was triggered by a sudden loss of electricity supplied through Mexico's Comisión Federal de Electricidad (CFE), compounded by limited generating capacity within Belize. At the time of the outage, local generation was producing about 103 megawatts, while national demand during the evening peak had climbed to approximately 122 megawatts. That left a shortfall of around 19 megawatts, making the system vulnerable when the Mexican supply was interrupted. The sudden reduction in available power activated BEL's grid protection system, which automatically shed electricity demand in different parts of the country in an effort to stabilize the national grid. As a result, customers across multiple service areas were left without electricity. For many Belizeans, the outage meant spending much of Tuesday night without lights, fans, refrigeration, and other essential electrical services. While power gradually returned to different areas, restoration time varied, leaving some communities in the dark well beyond others. BEL reported that electricity from CFE was restored at 10:54 p.m., helping to stabilize the system and support the restoration of service. The company explained that Belize's own generating capacity is currently under pressure because of seasonal conditions and scheduled maintenance. Some renewable generation is unavailable due to seasonal factors, while other generating units are either undergoing maintenance or operating below their full capacity. BL says it is continuing to monitor available generation and conditions across the national grid. In the meantime, the company has issued a temporary load shedding schedule affecting parts of the country as it works to manage available supply and prevent further disruptions. Tuesday night's blackout served as a stark reminder of the challenges facing Belize's electricity system as a sudden interruption in external supply coincided with limited domestic generation and high evening demand. A claim by People's National Party leader Will Mejia that Cuban doctors serving in Belize are being sent back to Cuba one by one has been dismissed by Minister of Health Kevin Bernard as totally fabricated. Mejia raised concerns after coming across boxes that he said were being shipped to Cuba, prompting him to question whether the items were connected to the departure of Cuban medical personnel from Belize. Here is Mejia's statement after coming across the boxes.
I'm sad, man, sad to see that the Cuban doctors who have done so much for this country, I'm sad to see that little by little it seems like they are sending them back. I was so sad to see the boxes on top of boxes that's being shipped to Cuba with the items that belongs to the Cubans from Belize, which means that they are sending back the Cubans. We at the PNP, we are appealing to the government to think about the amount of help and the amount of lives that those Cuban doctors have saved, especially in the southern part of Belize. You just can't send back those people like that without a plan. How are you going to replace them? I'm so sad to see all these boxes leaving that belongs to Cuban medical professionals. Government of Belize, please do something, man. Don't make nobody dictate to you what to do, how to run your country.
Responding to the claim, Minister Bernard told us via WhatsApp that the presence of boxes being sent to Cuba should not be interpreted as evidence that Cuban doctors are being removed from the country. The recent social media post circulating which insinuates that Cuban doctors are being sent home one by one is totally fabricated, Bernard stated. The health minister explained that Cuban healthcare workers, like other personnel, take vacation leave during the year. As you are aware, these persons, including Cuban healthcare workers, take vacation leave during the year, Bernard said. Bernard also emphasized the government of Belize's appreciation for Cuba's long-standing contribution to the country's healthcare system. According to Bernard, discussions between the two countries are also continuing. He noted that Belize and Cuba are currently engaged in diplomatic talks concerning the Cuban healthcare workers and other matters. As mentioned, the minister's response comes amid growing attention to Mejia's social media posts and his interpretation of the boxes he encountered. St. Peter's Anglican School is heading into the new school year with additional resources for its special education program thanks to a donation from the Lions Club of Orange Walk. The club recently gifted the school 5 televisions which will be used as teaching tools in classes for students with autism and other special education needs. Principal Osmeyer Henry says the donation is about much more than the equipment itself. He explained that the televisions will provide teachers with important tools to support instruction and make learning more engaging and effective for students in the autism program.
Last school year, we had Mr. Eldred Neal, who is our local manager. He approached us along with Dr. Milagros Reyes, and they came to school and see how is the school running, what are our needs, because they heard that we have a special ed unit. And we walked them through our unit. We had a one-on-one conversation here explaining what are our needs for our students. And they were impacted and concerned of us having a unit with 45 students. And there was a mixture of students in the autism spectrum. There were like, we have that, students in the spectrum, autism spectrum, as well as we had students with Down syndrome. We had some students with learning disabilities or intellectual impairment, and we had a class with students who do life skills. So looking at that, and we were discussing, and they were asking, what would be something that would benefit the school that we assist with? So we said we are more concerned about our students in the autism classrooms, which were two last year, but this year, coming Monday, we are going to be having 3 classrooms with students with autism. And they said that we were going to look at, so we look at many different areas how they could have assisted, but one of them was the TV. And I said, perfect, that will become very handy for our teachers, because our teachers work with 8 to 10 students by themselves in the classrooms.
Henry says the school has also established a partnership with the Lions Club with the goal of working together to strengthen and further develop its special education program.
Basically, as I said, there are those ones that I really see are very important, but there are more benefits that me myself don't know how it will impact the students, and it would definitely impact the classroom and assist the teachers, because it's really a teaching aid, a tool for them to ensure that our children keep engaged. Because we are not only ensuring that our children are seated, but they are seated, learning, having fun, socializing. So it's a lot of things that we can and we will definitely benefit from this donation that we receive, which is 5 TVs. And we have 5 special ed classrooms, so each one is going in a classroom. So honestly, we're grateful for the Lions Club for considering, and we have never had a television in these classrooms. Teachers use their laptops, their phones, so, and these children are always accidents do happen, so with having the TVs, we're going to have placed them there in a secure area, which teachers would be able to do more than what they know they can do, more what they have done, and more will happen that we ourselves don't even know how our children will respond to that. So that is how our school is going to benefit, and the students, especially with this televisions that we're going to be having in the classrooms.
For Lions Club of Orange Walk President Ines Ramirez, the donation reflects the organization's commitment to supporting education and investing in the growth and development of schools and students.
And for us, this is one of our main goals in Lionism, in helping with the youths. Giving this donation to this school is very helpful to these kids, because it will be a part of giving them some sort of independence that they can help themselves in the near future. We are now running in the digital era, and as adults, we need to make sure that our kids are performing and not only being babied here, but understand that they're preparing them for the real world.
The school hopes the partnership will continue to grow, allowing for more resources and initiatives to improve its special education services in the future. The United Democratic Party, UDP, is urging the government to reconsider proposed increases in tourism-related charges, warning that additional costs could make Belize a less attractive destination for international visitors. The party is calling for the proposed rise in the hotel accommodation tax from 9% to 12.5% to be put on hold until an independent economic impact assessment is carried out. According to the UDP, the study should determine how the increase could affect hotel occupancy, visitor spending, employment, and small businesses operating within the tourism sector. In addition to the hotel tax, the UDP is asking the government to examine the broader impact of a newly approved $10 Belize dollar aviation security charge on passengers departing from Belize's municipal airports.
Owner, when a visitor reduces a 7-night stay to a 5-night stay because Belize has become more expensive, the loss is felt not only by the country, it is felt by the tour guide, the taxi driver, the restaurant worker, the dive operator, the craft vendor, the farmer, the fisherman, small business owner. Imagine our self-proclaimed cash cow is imposing new taxes. Wait, there is more. Cabinet has approved a $10 aviation security fee on every departing passenger using Belize's municipal airports. Think about the cumulative effect. Higher accommodation taxes, higher domestic aviation costs, high fuel, higher electricity, high transportation costs, higher food costs, higher operating costs. Belizean families and Belizean businesses pay them off.
The UDP is therefore calling for a broader review of the proposed measures, arguing that any new charges should be carefully evaluated to ensure they do not undermine Belize's tourism sector, which depends heavily on remaining competitive in the regional and international market. The newly established Lions Club of Orange Walk is looking to make a bigger impact in the community as it expands its effort to assist residents in need. Guided by its motto of service, the non-profit organization says it has hit the ground running since its establishment, carrying out the various programs and forming partnerships aimed at supporting the Orange Walk community. The club's initiatives have so far focused on areas including health and education, with members hoping to reach as many residents as possible and provide assistance where it is most needed. President Ines Ramirez says the club wants to become more familiar to residents and build stronger relationships throughout the community.
The motto for Lions is we serve. So the collective group of the Orange Walk Town Lions Clubs are members or people with the idea that they should give back to the community. We know there are a lot of people here that cannot afford eye care, they cannot afford education, they cannot afford a lot of different things, especially with the cost of living here in Belize. So our job is basically to assist people in benefiting their lives.
Now, in terms of what you guys have been doing in recent, in terms of projects, I know this is one of them. Talk to us a little about what you guys have been up to and just some of the short-term goals that you guys have for Orange Walk.
We've done this project with St. Peter's. We've also done a project with the school in Fireburn and Santa Marta Government School. We have done vision screening, and we will do one again in October. We have done glucose testing and all that sort of stuff, trying to assist the community with that. We don't want to say short-term goals. We want to say long-term, because we want to be here that we can actually assist more people than what we've been doing. I mean, it's just a handful right now, and we want to assist the entire Orange Walk if we can. I mean, that's our future goal, to help the whole of Orange Walk if we can. But we're not known as a club as yet, and we're trying to become more visible so that so that the people can approach us or reach out to us if they need assistance.
Ramirez says the club's ultimate goal is to help every Orange Walk resident who needs assistance while encouraging community members to join their efforts. The Lions Club is also actively seeking new members who are willing to volunteer their time and go the extra mile to make a difference in Orange Walk.
We're always looking for new members. We are always looking for people that want to help or make a difference in the community. We just need them to understand that being a Lion member, you actually pay to work. Normally, it's you get paid to work, but in this case, we have to pay a club fee in order for us to perform these duties. Yes, so the individual needs to be committed. It's not just for picture taking and all that. I mean, we do get gratification when we assist the public and we can see the smiles on the kids' face or whosoever face that we're assisting, but we need to be committed as well.
The Lions Club of Orange Walk, the message is simple. Service to the community is at the heart of everything it hopes to accomplish. And there is more news after the break. Stay tuned.
Belize Medical Associates, Regent Street, NHI, was one of the first clinics, so we were here from the inception of NHI in 1993. We've been all this time up to today providing services. As services have been added on, we have cooperated fully with the NHI program.
Because I can visit the NHI clinic here with a minimal outlay of costs, I think it's an advantage for not only myself but anybody who is enrolled in the NHI program. Before I enrolled in NHI, any medical attention I had to go to the physician to get the attention, and that had a cost to it. And even when I enrolled in NHI, I had a small co-payment that I had to pay. It wasn't much, but when I reached the age of 60, the benefits improved even more because it meant that my medical attention was cost-free, my medication was cost-free, and so it has gone from one strength to another for me.
In Belize, the Public Utilities Commission works every day amid the rhythm of economic activities to ensure homes, businesses, and communities have access to necessary utility services. Through regulations, the Public Utilities Commission powers progress, connect communities, encourage new ideas and bold innovation, manage consumer rights, guide change, and serves in the best interests of national development for a future that benefits us all. Every decision is informed by evidence and guided by regulations and the law. So if and when changes arise in any of Belize's utility sectors, including situations that may affect competition, regulations and laws allow the PUC to carefully assess those changes, ensuring consumers are treated fairly while maintaining a sustainable utility sector. The Public Utilities Commission, guided by the law, informed by evidence, working to ensure fair and sustainable utility services for Belize.
Every day, the demand on your business get higher. More productivity, better equipment, and reliable support to keep up with a fast-moving world. At Cellular World Business Solutions, we're ready to help you boost performance across every operation. Don't let outdated technology hold you back. With our certified and supported solutions, your business stays ahead. We supply office equipment, printers, inks, and toners, software licenses, IT system assembly as your Dell Platinum and Cisco partner, appliances, and custom orders tailored to your needs. From startups to large enterprises and renowned institutions, we serve every corner of the country because no industry can afford to fall behind on technology. Let's take your business to the next level. Contact us today at 610-2494. Cellular World Business Solutions, your reliable partner in business success.
Belize has taken a major step towards protecting one of its most threatened freshwater species with the official launch of the Hecate Conservation and Action Plan 2026-2031. The government of Belize, through the Ministry of Blue Economy and Marine Conservation, MBEMC, and the Belize Fisheries Department, introduced the National Conservation Plan during the 4th day of Belize Climate Week. The initiative establishes a coordinated strategy aimed at reversing the decline of the Central American river turtle, commonly known in Belize as the Hecate or Tortuga Blanca. The Hecate is classified as critically endangered by the International Union for Conservation of Nature, IUCN, and is considered one of the 25 most endangered turtle species worldwide. The new plan to seek to strengthen efforts to protect this species and support the recovery of health, self-sustaining populations across Belize. At the center of the 2026-2031 strategy are 8 conservation goals and 58 specific actions. These measures focus on strengthening laws and enforcement, increasing public education, protecting and restoring critical habitats, expanding research and population monitoring, improving captive management and reintroduction programs, and encouraging communities to play a greater role in protecting the species. Officials say overcoming these challenges will require sustained cooperation among government agencies, conservation groups, scientists, researchers, and local communities. Protecting the Hecate will also mean safeguarding the rivers, wetlands, and other freshwater environments that support both wildlife and human communities. The launch marks a significant milestone in Belize's broader biodiversity conservation efforts. Beyond protecting an endangered turtle, the plan highlights the importance of maintaining healthy freshwater ecosystems and strengthening the communities that rely on these natural resources. With the Hecate facing growing threats, the 2026-2031 Action Plan provides Belize with a structured path towards giving the species a stronger chance of survival for generations to come. The government of Belize has embarked on a new initiative at strengthening key industries operating under Article 164 with a focus on improving competitiveness, climate resilience, sustainability, and inclusion. The project is being led by the Directorate General for Foreign Trade, DGFT, within the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade in partnership with the CARICOM Development Fund, CDF. Funded through a CDF grant, the 36-month initiative will run from September 2026 through August 2029 under the title Strengthening Climate Resilient and Inclusive Value Chains in Article 164 Industries through ESG-driven research, capacity building, and policy reform. Belize has been selected as a pilot country for the regional initiative, providing an opportunity to put the program into practice at the national level and generate lessons that can benefit other CARICOM member states. Through the project, businesses and industry stakeholders will receive support in several areas, including industry research, policy development, technical and business capacity building, export preparedness, climate resilience, sustainable production practices, and value chain development. The session served as an initial platform for stakeholders to develop a common understanding of the initiative, clarify responsibilities, and identify the information, technical expertise, and industry knowledge required to successfully carry out the project. Stakeholder engagement is expected to maintain central throughout the 3-year project. This will include consultations, the sharing of information and data, technical contributions, review of project deliverables, monitoring of progress, and the identification of challenges, lessons, and opportunities for improvement. By combining research, capacity building, policy reform, and climate-focused approaches, the initiative seeks to help Belizean industries become more productive and competitive while improving their ability to withstand environmental and economic challenges. And that's the news. We invite you to join us for another newscast on Thursday, August 27th here on CTV3 and Fiesta FM 106.7. Remember that to read a text version of the news, you can visit our website at ctv3belizenews.com. You can also log on to our Facebook page for current stories at facebook.com/CTV3BelizeNews or our YouTube channel at CTV3 News BZ. From all of us here at CTV3, thank you for watching and listening. Good night.